Hello everybody, Paul Vibes here. Welcome again back to the People's Podcast. I'm here with my friend Nick. Nick, bring it in, man.
What's
Bring
going
it in.
on, Paul?
Nick, I am super excited to have you because you're like a Renaissance man, you do a little bit of everything. That's why I love your vibe, because you always got so many cool hobbies, so many cool interests, so many good talents. Very smart guy. But the first thing I want to talk to you about is your love and passion for acupuncture.
Absolutely.
Tell us about it. How'd you get into it?
Okay, so I would say about 5 years ago, I was looking for a career, and I was really interested in things like spirituality and health, and I was finding myself that I was interested in a lot of things that were pertaining to science, and I really wanted to find a way that I could really benefit people and help other people and use those passions that I had so that I can make an impact on other people's lives. So a friend of mine mentioned that I should go check out this college, New York College of Health Professions.
Who would have thought that would start it all?
Right. So I checked out the school. I actually enrolled in massage therapy at first because I didn't have the academic credits to start acupuncture. But in the massage therapy program, I started to learn about the energy systems in the body, and I was like, this is it.
I'm hooked. I'm in.
And I started learning acupuncture from there.
So you made that switch pretty early on in school?
Yeah, about a year in.
Wow.
Yep.
Glad. Do you still incorporate? Because I'm sure the massage therapy, you can incorporate that into
Absolutely. Right? So I always do some body work with my clients for about 15 or 20 minutes before doing the acupuncture.
Amazing, amazing. So you do massage therapy, you do this, you do that.
Yep.
You're also big into martial arts as well.
Right. So
anything about the body, it seems, anything holistic you're into.
Absolutely. So I think martial arts was probably one of the catalysts for me that started interesting me into Chinese medicine and Asian philosophy. So I was really interested in Qigong, which is something that I teach, and from there I started learning Kung Fu, and nowadays I'm doing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
That's cool, that's cool. I have a little gym in my basement. It's being used for storage right now, but I love Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, submissions, all that stuff. Right. I've trained in Taekwondo as well. What other martial arts have you dabbled in?
When I was a kid, I did karate.
Who didn't do karate as a kid, right?
Yeah, absolutely, and that definitely subconsciously stayed in my mind for a long time. And so then I started doing Wing Chun, which is a style of Chinese Kung Fu. I did that for about 4 years, and from that I learned a lot about Qigong. I'm also certified in Qigong. And
can you talk a little bit more about that as well?
So Qigong is it's a physical exercise that is traditionally a Chinese practice, and it's used to strengthen the body, strengthen a person's mind and well-being. Just overall, it's used by gentle movements and meditations that kind of target different energy systems and organs in the body to clear out negativity, like negative energy or
stuck
pain.
Energy. Okay.
Right.
Wow, that's cool. What do you think you've learned the most from dabbling in all these different modalities and holistic ways of living? Like what have you kind of observed from all these different techniques that are kind of similar?
Yeah, I've noticed that I think a lot of it comes down to intention, and so the practitioner's intention and their passion and creativity with the practice, because as much as it is a science, it's also an art. And I think
we were talking about art a lot today. So
right, so I think that acupuncture is an art and a science.
Wow, that's cool. And it's also like it's kind of like how you use the tools. Like you use things for good or bad, right? And that's kind of like I think what you meant, like the intention, right? It's like how are you choosing to perform whatever you're doing.
Absolutely, yeah.
That's amazing. And you and people like your friend Jack, or mutual friend Jack, and it's so funny because I've noticed this common thing with a lot of acupuncturists is how present they are, and of course it's not everyone to be present, but just like your ability, how mindful you are, and like still, and you guys bring such like this unique like skills to the table.
Definitely, I definitely noticed that with other acupuncturists as well, and I think that's something that I bring into my practice, and that's what kind of gives me a little bit of an edge sometimes, because I'm with somebody, they come to me with an issue that's really bothering them, something that's really causing them a lot of discomfort, and they are looking for help, so I need to be 100% engaged and present with them.
Oh my God,
they need to
know. What's amazing is by doing that, you might notice and pick up on different energy things going on, or different issues that they're not even directly telling you about.
Exactly, and that's something that we are trained in acupuncture school to pick up on. So we
Can you give an example of that? Like maybe not this maybe it doesn't be exact client of yours, but an example
Sure.
of how you might pick up for people who don't understand.
Okay, so for example, say somebody comes in, maybe they have lower back pain is a classic example. So I'm gonna treat their back, of course, but upon examining them on the table, I maybe notice I'll check their pulse. I'll notice their pulse is a little fast. Maybe it feels in a certain way that I might think maybe they might have some anxiety issues, some sleep issues. So I'll start to question them about that. Maybe if I notice that the position on their pulse feels a little weak in certain area, like the lung, maybe I'll question them about if their breathing is okay. If I'm palpating their skin, I notice maybe a little bit of swelling. I'll ask them maybe something about their diet, things like that. And also we always look at the tongue.
Yes. My tongue would be gross and I have coffee, so don't judge my tongue. That's cool though. That's very cool. And do you also dabble in cupping and tinctures and things like that?
Yeah, so cupping is actually a big part of my practice. So I use cupping as a form of body work for the first 15 to 20 minutes.
And for the viewers who don't know cupping, can you just describe that for them?
So cupping is a method of suction with I use a glass cup, and fire is the traditional method, and it creates a little vacuum in the cup, and it pulls the tissue of the body up. And by doing that, it brings the stagnant blood to the more superficial blood vessels to clear out some toxins, things like that.
Wow. Yeah, I've done cupping before, and I gotta say it helps. It also helps with tension. Certain parts of my body where I'm tight that maybe a massage couldn't get out, or even the needles, but the suction for some reason was able to really disperse the tightness.
It's also great for headaches.
Really?
Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool. So, do you remember your first time when you did cupping or it's acupuncture? Do you remember the thoughts that you were going through? Like, this is super cool. Or like, this is weird. I'm sticking needles and I'm suctioning people's blood up. And this
I was really excited because when I was in school, I learned and studied for like 2 years before I ever put really a needle in anybody. So it's just, I was just ready to go.
Very cool.
Yeah.
What's like the number one thing people say whenever they learn acupuncture? Can you do it on me now? Can you put some needles in my head? What's like the typical like things that people say when they hear that you do acupuncture?
Like outside in like public every day. People, I think a lot of times they're actually really interested, and then they'll say they never tried it before, or they have tried it. Sometimes people will.
They're very skeptical. Oh, I could never do that.
Yeah, maybe they tried it once. They didn't really notice too much of a result, so they were a little skeptical. But then, after talking to them for a little bit, they seem to be pretty interested in it again. Yeah.
Well, this actually brings me to a good question I want to ask you, because I'm into the holistic lifestyles as well. What do you have to say to people who they don't like the acupuncture, the chiropractor, the holistic? They want to go to the doctor. They trust the doctor. Which I'm sure that you agree there's a place for that as well. They just want the prescription. They want that injection for the pain.
Right.
They want things as streamlined, and they want it yesterday. So what do you say to people who, when they hear the word acupuncture or holistic, it's all mumbo jumbo, it's all BS? Like, what would you say to those people who are like doubting the things you guys do?
I would say give it another shot. Take some time with it. Really, kind of figure out what you want from the treatment. If that's something that concerns you, you think it's not really helping you. You need to have a goal, and you really need to trust your practitioner that they're gonna help you along the way.
Yeah, and to try something different, right?
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with trying the natural way to do things.
Absolutely.
And everybody's different. Everyone's body's different. Everyone's mind's different. So, one thing that might work for you may not be suitable for me for many different reasons.
Definitely. So that's part of why, when I'm working with my clients, it takes a little while sometimes for me to get used to their body type and how they react to different points.
And also for them to get comfortable with you, too.
I think that's a big part of it too. At first they're nervous about the needles and everything. After a couple times they're good. They're falling asleep.
Stick that I'm ready. Let's go.
Yeah, they'll fall asleep in the treatment room, and then that's
amazing.
Great.
That's cool, man. You always have good vibes. You have good energy.
Thanks, Paul.
We talked about martial arts. We talked about acupuncture, cupping, and you're also big into, like we said, spirituality. We talk about, you post a lot about Alan Watts, Jordan Peterson, all this other stuff. What have you been learning recently? What have you been reading or looking into? I know you're always educating yourself on different stuff.
So now I'm learning Mandarin Chinese, and I've been doing that for about 7 months. And last year I went to China, so when I came back I was like, Chinese is the coolest language I ever heard. I need to start studying this ASAP, and I've just been studying it.
Very cool.
Yeah.
You ever see those videos? You should do this where they go into a place and the people don't typically think that you speak the language, and you go in, listen to what they would say, and then you speak fluid. Let's say you spoke fluid Chinese, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And then they're like, "Oh shoot! Like this guy knows what he's talking about.
Yeah.
We should film that one day."
Yeah, we can do that. I've actually done
You
that.
seen those videos?
Times. Yeah, yeah. I've done stuff like that before.
And they're blown away.
Yeah, they're like, "Wow, how long have you been studying?" It's funny. I mean, I still have a long way to go, but I have enough to be able to.
Listen, I can hardly speak English. I'm proud. I'm proud of you to be able to do that. Very cool, man.
Yeah, man.
Very cool. And if you have any videos and pictures from that China, you went to China, you said?
Absolutely, yeah.
I could post it into the video.
Sure.
You send it to me.
Okay, yep, it's all on my Instagram.
Very cool, very cool. What other stuff you got going on? You listen to a lot of Alan Watts. I know you like that.
Yeah, I like Alan Watts. I like Jordan Peterson.
Eckhart Tolle.
You actually gave me some Eckhart Tolle to listen to a while ago, and I do listen to Eckhart Tolle, and I like his message about really being present, and he talks a lot about the pain body.
Yes.
Yeah, and
what's your thoughts on that?
I think that's true. That's a lot.
Well, for the viewers who are watching, can you explain what he means and what you think what means to have a pain body?
Right. So when Eckhart Tolle talks about the pain body, he's talking about how when we're we think we're suffering, but really that's just us kind of being taken over by our pain body.
Holding on to it, yeah.
Right. So we have this energetic body that kind of craves suffering, and when we can realize that we're the ones that are causing that, we want that pain, we can kind of stop it in its tracks and start to realize, actually, things can get better from here. Things can only get better from here.
Yeah, it's like, and he talks about being the observer of that pain body. So it's like when you observe something, you're not being taken over by it unconsciously. You're bringing awareness. And kind of what you do as an acupuncturist, you're bringing awareness to different parts of the body.
Definitely, yeah. I think that's definitely part of it, because for example, like say somebody has like a really tight rock hard muscle that's really causing them a lot of pain, and like putting some acupuncture needles into that area is definitely going to bring some attention. Your body's going, there's something going on here that needs to be healed. So acupuncture really just facilitates the healing process that everybody has within themselves.
And when you combine stuff like acupuncture, martial arts, and mindfulness and meditation, it's kind of just about bringing consciousness, bringing awareness to things that are unconscious, right? So when you have blockages in the body, and I think you would agree that there's a correlation between pain and physical pain and your emotional state, and the opposite. When you feel really happy, you might feel just great throughout your body, right? And can you talk about that mind-body connection a little bit?
Yeah, so the acupuncture channels run all along the body, and they run over different muscles and structures in the body. So the channels are associated with different organs, and the organs are associated with different emotions. For example, the heart is associated with joy and anxiety, lungs are associated with grief, things like that. So when those channels that are associated with those organs on the body maybe have some stagnation, some pain, can definitely present with emotional pain. Yeah,
it's kind of like the typical one that we all know of being sick to the stomach, sick of the stomach. You're feeling a certain way emotionally, and you start to manifest that feeling inside your body.
Right, and that feeling a lot of times manifests as worry, pensiveness, things like this. Yeah.
Very cool, Nick. You do a great job at bringing all these different modalities. You do a great job articulating and explaining it. We love having you on, and I hope that you come back on soon and share what other cool things you've been researching, what you've been learning, what you've been up to. You always got good energy, man.
Thanks,
and you're always welcome to hang out on the set of the show. We're going to have in the description of the video Nick's contact information, where you can get a session of Nick with all the different things that he does.
Absolutely, yep. You can contact me directly through my Instagram or my phone number.
Very cool. I'll put all that in the description of the video. As always, send you good vibes. Nick, bring it in. Thanks for coming on the show,
Thanks, Paul, man.
Yeah. It's always a pleasure having you, dude.